Alrighty guys, we are back today after probably close to 6 months as far as car tours goes. Like I said, we are back today after a while. I have not made one of these in a minute, so please forgive me if it's not as smooth as maybe they once were. But yeah guys, I'm gonna try to jump back into making some YouTube stuff again now that I have a few more exciting cars to show on the channel. As you all know, I've been kind of flipping the Ford Mavericks. That's kind of been over for a minute now, but I've been taking advantage of the used car market as far as flipping cars goes, and I've been trying to just make some money on things here and there. As far as that goes, as far as cars goes on all of that, they weren't all that exciting, so it wasn't really worth making a video every time for the channel. And at least for me, I'm sure you guys would have liked to see them, but I just didn't take the time to make videos on them. But again, with all that being said, now that the markets and everything is finally settling down, I'm kind of going back to cars that I would probably want for myself again, which is this. So as the title says, I don't know what it's going to say, but this is a 2014 Volvo. Obviously, it's a Volvo XC70. This one is the T6. I've owned it for a few weeks now. I actually went down to Washington, D.C. to buy this. So I bought it right outside of D.C. in Maryland, in Bethesda, Maryland. Bought it from a Audi dealership. So the people that traded this in, I think they traded it in on a one of those Audi station wagons. It's on the tip of my tongue, the name of it, an all-road. So they traded this in on an all-road, which fitting replacement. It's essentially, it is a one-owner car. They leased it when it was brand new, and then they bought it from Volvo as a certified pre-owned vehicle, and they took advantage, I would imagine, of the 10-year warranty, certified pre-owned warranty Volvo offered back in the day. That warranty expired the month they traded this thing in, so those people rode the warranty out all the way to the end. No more warranty, no more Volvo, so naturally they picked a Audi all-road. So yeah, so that's where I ended up with this thing here. And if you guys have been on the channel for a while, you will know I've had my fair share of Volvos. The first Volvo I ever owned was a 2011 S60 T6. So it has the same engine as this right here, obviously in sedan form. That car was really cool and really sporty, but it was a small car and it wasn't practical for me. So when I had bought that car, I had also bought my house. Had to start doing, hauling things and just doing projects and stuff. That car didn't really fit the bill all that well. I found myself needing a replacement, so that's when I went to two cars. The two-car thing was kind of old after a while, paying insurances, because I was younger at the time. My rates are finally dropping now. Side note, that's why we're going back to two cars again. But with all that said, I kind of messed around with some bigger vehicles and such. And at one point, I was actually, after that S60, I was in a V60 cross country. The V60 was a nice car. It was a really cool car for what it was. It looked really cool. It was a T5, though. It was a T5 5-cylinder. It wasn't what this was. It had the Volvo comfort, everything the Volvo offered, but the wonderful T6 engine that they come with. So basically that Volvo V60, I bought that for a good value as well, and I sold it and I made money on it. Again, that was just kind of the market we were in at the time. So I didn't love it enough to keep it, so I sold it. And then that's kind of when all the Mavericks and cheaper vehicles started coming around. And then, yeah, bada bing, bada boom, here we are. This is the best of both worlds. This is the V60 and the S60 in one, which makes it the XC70. It is big. But with all that being said, guys, like I was saying, this is the best of the both Volvos I had. And I stumbled across this one. Like I said, it had a great ownership history. And now that these are finally getting a little bit older now, people are putting miles on these and they're getting harder to find in good condition. So with that being said, I found this one. It was insanely clean. I jumped on it and I got it. So this one is, like I said, this is a platinum. So it's got pretty much every option but the projector, HID, active bending headlights. I was a little disappointed that this didn't have that, and I still am, honestly, because they were really fun to have in my S60. But I know that the car is getting older now, and those are going to start going bad. So when they go bad, I know they're not exactly cheap to replace. So all in all, I guess having regular old reflector halogens isn't the worst thing in the world. As you can see, I do have the parking lights on, which kind of still gives you a nice LED runner. So it does look cool when you have your parking lights on. Those are not fog lights. Those are actually DRLs. So those are daytime running lights. I would prefer that they would be fog lights, but again, Volvo must have had their reasons. I don't see what the reason is, but I'm sure there's a way I could power those on with the headlights. I'll look into it down the line, but so that's what those are down there. You have your classic Volvo honeycomb grille. In 2014, Volvo did get refreshed for the XC70. Just some mild updates as far as the grille goes. The wheel options changed a little bit. And I think a few of the multimedia options changed. So you got a few little trim updates. I think you got that down there, and the chrome trim on the trunk. But this is basically the last iteration of the XC70. Of course, these things have a huge following. But yeah, it does need window tint, as you can see back there. And really, I think these in the previous generation of this, they were kind of ugly. But I mean, this last generation of the Volvo XC70 I think does look pretty good though. So let's go on inside and check it out. And I guess I'd like to mention real fast before we jump in, I probably didn't pan too close on the wheels, but these wheels, being that this was a city car, pretty much every wheel on this car is destroyed. This one's actually bent, if you could even see it in the camera there. They're all curb rash, and there's some curb pull damage here, so I did need to touch that up and get that fixed. But as far as everything else goes, I was able to kind of justify it just because the rest of the car is in fantastic shape. And then the wheels on the other side, they're basically the same condition. So I do have some new wheels and tires ready to go on it. I'm just going to part these out once I take the TPMS sensors off, swap them over the new wheels. So these wheels will be loose, and I'll sell the very good condition Pirelli Scorpion tires. I'll probably put those up for a couple $100. But yeah, I'm in the process of replacing all the wheels, and those are not cheap. But you know, like we said, we have brand new tires up front. And it'll look a lot nicer, at least for me, and it'll ride better, so you're not going to feel the bump in the car when you're driving. So but coming over to the interior, it's your typical Volvo P3 platform basically. Turn off the headlights here. I think that's what's beeping. Nope, it's the key. So we have the key up here, which again is a keyless entry push button start. Looking at it, you have a real nice door panel. Again, this is a Volvo. In this era of Volvos, I mean, they're not going to be made this good again. I don't care what you say. This is probably the best era of Volvo. So, shutting the door, they're vault-like doors. They're solid doors. I mean, it's just a very solid car for the money. I mean, you can pick these up for under 15 grand these days. So that's a lot of car for the money, if you ask me. Coming on in, you're looking at a very nice full leather, of course, and power driver's seat minus the manual lumbar right there. 2016 got a power lumbar, which was cool, I guess, for the 2016 people. But this one, it's a manual lumbar. So jumping on into the carpets, really nice carpets. I mean, look at them. It's like a house carpet grade there. So I thought that was kind of strange when I got it, but they're quite nice. But let's get inside. Enough talking here. Let's have a look at it. So heated steering wheel, of course. It's your traditional Volvo wheel. You have your gauge cluster there, and looking at the mileage now, we do have 68,000 on it, so not a whole lot of mileage for 10 years old. So we'll go ahead and start it up real fast. You can hear the T6 there. It's a pretty smooth running engine, of course. It's kind of why I bought another one of these. If you guys haven't driven this T6 engine, I highly suggest you give it a shot. Really fun to drive, really low-end torque. Low-end torque, as I was saying, good horsepower. It's got like 300 horsepower, 325 foot-pounds, and it's a lot of power for something of this size. Just a very linear engine. So you can even hear the little blow-off noise it makes when you rev it up. But I don't think it's the best mileage. I think we're getting like 20 miles a gallon, maybe. But again, if you have to drive it, you'll easily forget about all of that stuff. Again, looking at the door panels, everything's nice and soft and, you know, leather stitched, etc. You have some nice, cheap-looking wood, which I'd rather have like aluminum, but it's a wagon. It's an old wagon, so you'll have some wood with it. Like I said, it's got pretty much all the options, minus the active benders, which includes the premium sound. We do have premium sound, which is, I think, a 650-watt system. It does sound quite nice. And then down here, we have the blind spot and parking sensors and the heated wheel, which that has been very nice coming these fall days. This does have your multi-gauge layout, so you can go through the gauge settings. Let's see if we can go back here. You have color mode. Let's see, themes. I think that's the one we want. So yeah, you can change your gauge setups. They're all quite nice. I like the performance because it has the speed gauge nice and bright in center, so you can see how fast you're going pretty easily. I do like that. Again, with that sound system, you have a center channel up there, sunroof, and all that regular old good stuff. So we do have a console right here, some wood, a wood lined cover, passenger seat. Again, I think that's pretty much we're covering it, guys. There's not much else to go into with this thing, but looking at under here, we do have some lighting as well, which is pretty cool. I think that's also part of the package. We'll go ahead and shut the car off. There's no reason to leave it on, but we'll step out, go to the rear, and have a look. This does have a powered trunk as well, so that's pretty cool. Which the struts need replaced, and I'll show you that in a second. So coming to the rear, you still get your same treatments as the front. And back here, you do have a booster seat. So if you have kids, you can go ahead and throw them up there if you really want to. So yeah, I have booster seats in my wagon. What's up? Coming back here again, I'm a little on the taller end, so I probably couldn't sit behind myself all that well, but you're treated with some vents. Oh, it's missing the rear heated seats as well, I think. But you have a nice armrest right there. So there it is. So this is a really cool car to drive. I know there's nicer cars out there, but for what this is and for what you're paying for it, I don't think you can buy a Chevy Trax for the price of one of these things these days. And this is just way better than a lot of the, roughly $20,000 new cars you can buy. You just have to want to drive maybe a few year old car. But again, coming back here, the trunk is holding itself today, but there's some struts in here. And it seems like a lot of them do fail. So again, 10 years old. I'm going to have to take the headliner down and replace the struts back here at some point if I want the power trunk to kind of stay up. But in the meantime, they do work. So, yeah, guys, I think that's about it for the car. Again, a few little body rashes along the side. I did already buff it, so it does look quite nice. But not much else to go into. Maybe we'll do a test drive of it at some point. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video of the new update. I do have a 2009 Toyota Camry I could probably update you on all as well. I've had that for about 6 months now. It's been a pretty solid car. Like I said, it's a Camry, so how exciting is it? Do you guys want to see it? I guess let me know. But in the meantime, enjoy this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you all later.